You say virgin like you're the virgin, remember?
Hello, I'm the virgin.
No, that's the whore. That's the...
Hello, I'm the virgin.
No, you go, like, the virgin! I'll say welcome to, you go, the virgin.
Okay.
And the whore. Okay, so... Right, hello, welcome to...
The virgin?
And the whore! No, 1 minute. Right, hello, welcome to...
The virgin?
And the whore.
And the virgin?
Okay. This is, I suppose this is a sort of podcast. Basically, about 42 minutes ago, we came up with an idea to do a podcast called The Virgin and the Whore. And the concept being that we would both choose an album. You know, when I say we, do you want to introduce yourself? No one knows who you are.
I'm Sean, Stereola, aka Rob Earl's best friend in the whole universe.
Right, there we go, that's nice. So, whether I echo his claims
I knew that was coming.
is another issue. But, yeah, no, he is my best mate. And together we've come up with an idea called The Virgin and the Whore, in which we sort of share albums. The concept being that one of us is highly familiar with an album.
And the other person has never heard the album. This is the first time they've heard it, and it's their first impression, so it's all going to be very raw and very sort of contrasted.
Freewheeling.
Yes.
We got the idea by looking at Radiohead in Rainbows. I said to Sean, have you ever heard it before? And you said...
No! I've never listened to a Radiohead album in my life, so this is the first time.
I'll give you his address later, so you can go and beat him to death with blunt objects. We're going to listen to Radiohead in Rainbows. We're not going to post the album here for copyright and, time concerns, obviously. But we will listen to each track. We will then discuss each track. And basically, it's The Virgin and the Whore. So I'm very familiar with In Rainbows. I think it's Radiohead's best album, released in 2007. I think it showcased the band at a beautiful creative period, a highly colourful psychedelic dance record, very experimental, very electronic, and very good. And that's why I want to share it with this little fella here. Are you excited for
Yeah.
In Rainbows?
You're quite familiar with being a whore as well, so it's it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, that's off camera. Right, so without further ado, well, I say that. I mean, I do have to load up the video. Oh. Right, just tell them like an anecdote about yourself in the meantime.
Musically, I sort of listen to metal and classic rock more than anything. So, you sort of popular. I don't know. Would you class Radiohead as indie or?
Yeah.
I don't really know much of it. The only means of being introduced to this kind of music is through Rob or AKA Stereola. So
you don't have to say that.
AKA da 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 da.
Stereola. It's going to be a fantastic year. That's probably copyright though. Doing that.
Yeah,
Thinking
possibly. Merry Christmas. It's the worst Christmas song ever written.
We'll do that in December.
Ever. Yeah,
Without further ado, let's crack off the pilot episode of The Virgin and the Whore, track 1, 15 Step.
15. So I just listened to 15 Step for the first time, and the drums sort of like begin the track kind of stripped back and skeletal, and it's really quite lovely. It reminds me, the image that came to mind was the scene in Tarzan where the monkeys and stuff take over the camp, and they're all like banging on all the stuff and stuff like. It was very sort of.
It's got a nice sort of squelchy, playful, tribal feel.
Yeah. I got a lot of that from it,
but
as well as that.
It's still very modern, isn't it?
Yeah. It was a cracking little song. 15 Step, I felt referred to a couple of things in it within the actual track. The rhythm was sort of like offbeat, and like the timings were all like crazy. Like 1 minute the drums were like going one way and another, and also the riff was sort of climbing in a sense. Like that's what I felt like. There's a few lead guitar bits that were like just like they felt like they were going up and down, and I just felt that was.
I might be wrong, but I think 15 step is like to do with the time signature.
Is it?
I think so. I think that sort of main pattern, the I think that's 15 beats.
All right.
I think so. I might be wrong.
That's an impressive timing. There's no way.
Yeah.
Could achieve that myself as a drummer.
Also, that whole, the lyric like, "How come I end up where I started?" I sort of imagine it in a way. It's like he's going around in circles. 15 steps in that sort of way.
Yeah.
In the way the song sort of repeats the same drums.
Yeah.
But then adds to it like a fucking weird vortex with all these different, shades, all the different guitar tones.
Oh, some of the sound effects were fantastic.
Did you enjoy this opening?
Yeah,
track?
I loved it.
Well, I'm glad. Thanks for listening, everyone. He enjoyed it.
I did. Way!
We can go.
Let's get a crowd cheering.
Right, I'm gonna throw a few lyrics at you. Okay.
Okay.
What do you think this lyric means? 15 steps and then the shit drops. Right. Well, basically, Tom York, the lead singer's mum, is in a retirement home. Okay.
Okay.
And every day, senile as she is, she goes for a walk around the pond that they built in the backyard. Okay. Her morning ritual is to walk around it, which she calculated as being 15 steps.
Wonderful.
When she returns to her original position, she drops her blouse and then takes a massive dump.
So I'm guessing they've prepared like an emergency bucket situation for this. By the time they've realised that this is a pattern.
that's embedded into the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they've got this sort of filter system where the shit instantly flies back up her.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So the nutrients
recycling. They don't need to feed her, basically.
Yeah. So the nutrients that she lost in the process of excreting.
Yeah.
Return to her body in a sort of cyclical nature, and in a way it sort of parallels her previous walk, her ritual.
That's wonderful, but there's no wonder she's in a retirement home if that's how she's.
Very true.
If that's her.
Many believe that the dementia was worsened by the implementation of the shit bucket rocket propelled nutrient machine.
It's a lot of wasted energy, that I've got to say.
It is. Well, it's a lot of wasted fucking money, really, isn't it? To fire the shit that came out of pensioners' arse back up a fucking skirt.
Oh my god!
I mean, that is a waste of taxpayer money.
Well, it's whatever floats a boat, isn't it?
Whatever floats a boat. So, I'm glad you liked it.
Should I give it a rating out of 10 or something? Or
no? Oh. Okay, right. We're going to listen to track 2 now, and that is called BODYSNATCHERS. Right, BODYSNATCHERS, track 2. Okay. That was some fucking insane shit.
Yeah, it was wonderful. That really was nice. I felt it flowed from the first track. I felt like there's sort of like a transition, like a spacey theme going on throughout, and also obviously with the track, the album being called In Rainbows, I feel that 2 of the tracks I've heard so far, at least, have felt like a colour, like they've had a colour or a mood to them.
Yeah, well, you'll sort of see across the whole album that it is prismic, It is like they've fucking inserted themselves into a fucking rainbow.
It's wonderful.
It is like that. I think that's why people love it so much. I think that's why people regard it as their best album, is that they've sort of dipped into everything that they knew, but came out swimming in this fucking new fucking pool of ideas. It's insane. I mean, this track is that main riff is clippy, it's crunchy, it's fucking insane. His vocals are manic as anything. The drumming in there, that sort of krautrock ride cymbal just hammering on. It's relentless.
I felt crunchy and clanky and quite a metallic sounding song.
Absolutely.
I saw like railway lines and sort of like urban sort of scenery.
Well, I think that sort of goes with like the Body Snatchers thing. I mean, if you, I think Radiohead have been interested in the Industrial Revolution, the sort of, especially on OK Computer, they were very interested in technology overtaking humans.
Right.
And technology integrating with humans as well.
Quite a relevant theme, really.
I think this one might be with that sort of metallic vibe you're sort of talking about.
It's
something
about,
more robotic.
Yeah, it's
at
about
work.
sort of like maybe a comment on computers and the sort of social media generation and all that sort of technology taking over, the organic becoming like out of date kind of thing. I felt like guitar wise as well, there was a sort of freestyle, especially with the lead, sort of Jimi Hendrix-esque, like fading in, fading out, like sort of like all these little solo-y bits like going over the top, and they complemented the song really well. Let's hope it carries on like this.
Quick question: Has the light gone out for you? Because the light's gone out for me.
What do you mean?
It was a lyric from the song.
Ah, well, I thought the way you like sort of said it, it literally means like losing energy, doesn't it?
Despite this track being fucking full of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thundering on.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot help but shake my tits every time I hear this song.
I don't know how you dance, but sure sounds interesting.
I'll shake someone else's tits, no problem, but they're none in sight, really.
No.
I'll shake my own. Anyway, speaking of tits, the next track is called Nude.
Right, I've just listened to Nude, so first impression is it's still interwoven.
Can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
Nude.
Nude.
You say nude?
Yeah.
Nude.
First line I wrote in my sort of notes was "Time seems to drip from this song." That might sound
Perfect.
That might sound ridiculous, but it felt like the flow of time was altered whilst listening to it. I felt like it could be reversed, could be like slow motion. As you mentioned, whilst listening to it, it was in the advert for Skins.
Yeah.
And I imagine it, or maybe even remember that it was a slow mo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Also, aptly because it's named Nude, or Nude.
Yeah, Nude. Yeah.
The song is it has less instruments, or it feels like it has less instruments than the previous two.
Yeah.
It feels stripped.
But it's, despite it being so stripped back, it manages to pull up the heartstrings, it manages to sound a lot bigger, and I think that comes from how close sounding and intimate those guitars are. It's like you can hear, it's like he's in the room.
Yeah.
Actually playing it next to you. You can hear like the strings crackle and pop. It's amazing. I love that soft bass, just boom boom boom.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's quite floaty. You imagine somebody suspended in midair to it. You don't imagine somebody sat down to that song.
Yeah, I think that sort of sense of time being slowed down or manipulated comes from his vocal as well. Just it's so dreamy and elongated.
I was just thinking about elongated.
Yeah, that is the heart of the album for me.
You can feel it. I've loved every track so far.
Did you think that he sounded like the paedophile from Family Guy at all?
No.
Don't get any.
I thought more Matt. Obviously, Matt Bellamy. As you said before, we listened to the album. That Muse are inspired by these almost indefinitely. So I felt a lot of Matt Bellamy. Yes.
Too much. Muse are inspired too much. Muse are conadista.
I see. It's still weaving. It's like a tapestry. It's like a blanket that's being created as the album progresses.
You're so wise.
Thank you.
I like your T-shirt.
Thanks.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, it means no worries for the rest of your days.
Lovely. Let's go to the next track.
It's called Weird Fishes.
Right, Weird Fishes.
It was definitely more energetic than the previous track.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel the implication of patters of rain and the colour blue because of the speed of the sort of tempo of the drums and the sort of ringing effects. Obviously, the title of the track is Weird Fishes, so it's going to imply water in some sense, but I felt rain.
Yeah, like the sort of guitar tone was sort of quite aquatic.
Yeah,
In that sort of way. It was like sort of little drops of rain, sort of little, pearls sort of glistening away.
Yeah.
The sort of subtitle for this track is arpeggi. It's sort of like a bastardization of arpeggio, and that's when the chord is, we're just playing the single notes trickling through. The same technique you just hear on that track. So nice little touch there.
It's repetitive until the sort of ringing section where it sort of like transitions near the end of the track into this sort of ringing, and I liked that. I liked the repetitiveness of it. Like most songs, when you've listened to the same sort of pattern and flow, like over and over. I find that you tend to get bored, whereas I could be trapped in that for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes and still be like, yeah, this is relaxing, this is fucking good.
It's never overbearing at all.
Yeah.
It's always like the very sort of minimalistic.
Yeah.
But then something sort of swells up towards the end of the track and makes use of like the bare bones that are already in play.
Yeah.
And it's just like incredible, like those floaty guitars, that sort of weird, dark, searching bass towards the end.
Yeah.
I love it when it just stops, because it gets to a point where these guitars I just keep plucking away.
Pluck away, we're going to pluck away today. There's going to be a link to that in the description.
No, there's not.
You need to see it.
Yeah, so it gets to a point where the guitars, it's just all fucking swelling across. It's got like just something there, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
And it's just like a sort of foggy, murky vibe, but the drums just storm straight on through it, and it's so fucking riveting.
Yeah.
To hear just the drums by themselves carry on, then that bass comes back in. He seems to be saying like he'll follow this woman to the ends of the earth, down into the ocean. After that sort of dark outro, he said, "I'll hit the bottom and then escape." Is he being driven to his death? Because he's saying that he wants to be eaten by the worms and weird fishes. What the fuck is going on?
That does seem to imply that, doesn't it? Like drowning and...
yeah.
But you can sort of see it from an optimistic point of view in a way as well. Like, hit the bottom, like, you get run down so much that you just see the exit and go to something better. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be so dark, really. Through personal experience, I like... Through, like, breakups and things like that. The escape
Tell us about
thing.
your breakup, Sean.
Hey! Well, once upon a time, there was a girl, and I lived with her, and I loved her.
Now she's dead.
She drove me fucking mental. She was like a shackle around my leg, and controlled everything. Who I could talk to, who I couldn't talk to, and.
Did you hit the bottom and escape though?
Yes.
Were you eaten by the worms and weird fishes?
Yes. Like I can sort of like relate to that in a way, because hitting the bottom was where I was just so fed up of it all. I couldn't even argue back. I'd sit there sort of silently, and
what album are we looking at again?
can I have a pint, please, mate? But
right, go on.
It's optimistic for me. Like, whereas you see it as a pessimistic, suicidal sort of end of everything, I see it as a sort of new day arising from it at the end.
Why is it called Weird Fishes then? Why focus on the fish? What is significant about the fish?
Plenty more fish in the sea, mate. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Getting out of a relationship, plenty more tits on the bar. That's all I can say.
And eaten by the worms is a sort of like interracial gay gangbang.
Yeah. You know, it's about experimentation and rebellion. I'm not speaking from experience here, by the way.
Well, you would say that. Especially being broadcast onto YouTube. And the surrounding platforms in which audio is available.
Well, they use this against me when I'm president. President of the UK, president.
I just think you're sort of like mentally damaged.
Well, what can I say?
The jigsaw's there, but 35 pieces are missing. You can see the general picture, but you can also see the dirty carpet beneath.
Oh, I think you need a holiday. Speaking of need, the next track is called All I Need.
Oh.
Right, All I Need. Can I tell you what I think this track is about?
Go on, yeah.
Is that alright?
Yeah, go on.
It's about a stalker.
Okay.
I would have thought so. I'm an animal trapped in your hot car. You're all I need. I'm just an insect. Really sort of self-deprecating, making himself out to be a bit of a creep, which is another Radiohead song, by the way. Another Radiohead song. Well, that one. That sort of drony fucking bass doesn't seem like there's much hope in this song at all. And
strangely enough, in my notes, I've got like the humming drony sound is like the big brother to the xylophone, which is the little sister. Just for those who can't see, he's nearly spat his drink across the room. No, but that's what I could sort of see, like in the music, like they complement each other, but the worlds apart as well.
Carry on talking just for a minute. Go on, big brother to the xylophone.
So it's like it's weird how you say about it being about a stalker, because like maybe he's like this ridiculously luggish little creature, and the xylophone is this like dainty little thing that he's following.
Yeah, you know what?
Even in the music itself, it sort of it implies it. That's why I said the big brother sister thing, because that's what I got, and then you say that, and I can relate it now.
I can actually dig that. There were lots of sort of creepy and creeping elements in the song.
Oh yeah.
As well. Like I heard these bundles of shuffling noise like invading the track, and then they just sort of stop dead.
Yeah.
In their tracks, as if they're sort of being muted by the the responder of this character's lyrics, this character's advances even. And I think there's something in that outro as well, when the cymbals just start clanging in.
Yeah.
And his vocal is then drowned out almost entirely. It's become muted. It's as if the track knows that what he's trying to accomplish is a lost cause.
Yeah.
And he's just sort of drowning in it. It's sort of cutting him out, and what he's trying to do, what he's trying to say, just seems futile in that moment of time.
It's quite a pessimistic sounding song, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Really, really shady, suspicious, sinister, even. Yeah. Definitely sinister.
Just that hum alone, just like boom, boom. It's just like
boom, boom. It's like sort of like some sort of demon knocking at your door.
Yeah.
Like trying to sell you poisoned dildos or whatever. Poison dildo? No, thank you, not today. Poison dildo.
3 for a tenner today. They're on offer, mate.
3 for a tenner, mate. Go on, take one, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I can dig that. I liked that as a theme. That was probably like more darker of the colours than I'd say. Like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in the rainbow, but I've just got black. I got grey.
Yeah.
But then, like you say, that sort of twinkly xylophone, throwing a few little happy touches on top of the mix.
I don't think it's happiness.
Innocence. Yeah, bulging amounts of the darkness, and only this sort of glimmer of, like you say, innocence, happiness, something nice existing outside the track.
Yeah.
That the track is trying to destroy with its own pessimism and its own warped vices.
Yeah, I get
If you can dig that shit, man.
Oh, I dig that shit.
What do you think of this in terms of like the flow now? Because we're sort of 5 tracks in this album now. It's only a 10-track album.
The flow is it's kind of like a zigzag between sort of like high energy to sort of relaxing to sort of it's a mixture of emotions really. It's here's happiness, here's sadness, here's joy, here's loneliness. It's quite wonderful how
diverse it is.
Yeah.
They've caught rainbows. Anyway, halfway through, Let's have a look now at track number 6, FAUST Art. Alright?
I've just listened to Faust Art.
FAUST Art.
I think it's quite like morning-like and sort of like it feels like the beginning of a day. It's very yellow, sunny, sort of vibrant feeling. Pulled at my heartstrings, and I've never heard acoustic guitar and violin work together so well. Like two string instruments and two very different sounding string instruments, just like in harmony. It was wonderful.
If I could just refer to that title for a second, please. FAUST Art. FAUST.
Faust is he the devil?
No, he is approached by one of the devil's minions.
I thought it was
Mephistopheles, because he wants to know the secrets of the universe. He wants to achieve godlike status.
That sort of like gives the song a sinister vibe with some of the violins. Actually, when you think about it, but just musically, I saw sort of mornings and optimism really. But knowing the track is called that,
yeah, well,
and sort of like, here's the universe, but it'll cost your soul.
I think on the whole, it's quite a sort of merry old composition. The verses are pretty dark, but very colourful. I like the restless, colourful chords on the acoustic guitar. Like you say, I mean, the interplay between the strings and the guitar is wonderful.
It's perfection. It's honestly, I couldn't really word it any other way.
But I think like that Faust thing lyrically, I think it's about over ambition as well.
What are the? I've not really didn't really catch any of the lyrics.
Well, I've got some of the lyrics there. It's like you thought you had it in you, but no. I love you, but enough is enough. There's sort of references to dominoes tumbling. It's like this person wanted so much in their life, they reached so high, but they ultimately failed to do so, to fulfill that impossible ambition.
Yeah.
In some way, and but it sort of changes towards the end. There's a sense of like resolution. It is sort of sunny. I know what you mean. Like it's got a morning vibe, but then there's a real discernible descending part as well. In the choruses,
it's kind of like, I'm alive, but I got a dark side. I'm alive, I got a dark side.
yeah, it's exactly like that.
There's just something very human about that song.
I got a bit of a Beatles vibe, I got
Eleanor Rigby.
Eleanor Rigby, but also Blackbird. The sort of the way they pluck these strings on this. They're down.
I've not heard Blackbird personally, but
it's a good old track.
Probably another reason I liked it, because I'm quite the fan of Eleanor Rigby as well.
Also, like the sort of vocal style, it reminded me of like a beat poet. It was repeating words. They were almost non-stop, just kept coming one after another, and it was sort of like he was slaying this person. I love you, but enough is enough. Maybe she's getting a bit out of hand.
Yeah.
Maybe she's expecting too much of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, I think there's like 3 sort of parts in this. It's sort of like a quite sort of enigmatic, mysterious Scooby-Doo type beginning, where things are in the shadows.
I wouldn't say Scooby-Doo.
I'd say Scooby-Doo.
Jinkies!
Reggie? I'd go full-blown Scooby.
What's about your personal life?
But also the guitar sounded like it was recording outside for some reason. It's like it's being done on a fucking mountaintop or something.
Yeah, it's very open.
Yeah, it is open.
Yeah.
It's like it's being done, like I say, in a rural
by a Buddhist monk
setting.
in a temple by himself.
Yeah, with these violins imposed afterwards.
Yeah.
It's strange, but you said it was your favourite track so far.
Yeah, loved it.
You loved it. I like it too. I think it's one of the more mysterious tracks on the album so far. But it does flourish. It is nice, and I think that's as stripped back as it gets in terms of the amount of instruments, the amount of layers so far. Okay, so what's up next, Sean?
I don't know, because you've not told me. Track 7, though.
Track 7, one of Radiohead's best tracks, Reckoner.
So I just listened to Reckoner.
What did you reckon?
I reckon not fucking bad at all. Faust Arp is still my favourite track on the album, but that was mind blowing. I imagine if that was played live in concert, the whole crowd would sort of stand in dead silence, in like sort of respect of the music and like the sounds. That with the violins and everything live would be absolutely superb.
That track makes me want to just close my eyes.
Yeah.
Just close my eyes, just get lost. I've got lost to this album so many times.
I imagine you would see something different every time as well, because of how sort of I feel like you can interpret the track so far, at least based on your mood as well. Your current situation in life. I imagine this would be like a chameleon track in a sense, album in a sense that no matter where you are in life, that it will still appeal to you, and maybe even in different sections, and you'll relate to different tracks. It's very it's just mind blowing. It's good stuff.
What do you think that sort of sense of longevity comes from the fact that it's called Reckoner? It seems to be about, the inevitability of death. It does feel like a very in touch track about mortality.
Quite somber in some ways.
Yeah, it's somber, but it's glorious at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm here for my time, and my time I shall enjoy.
You poet, you.
No, I.
What more do you want for the track?
That couldn't have anything added to it.
No.
And if you took anything away, it would just be a travesty. You'd everything there is. Whoa!
It was probably, I think it's probably the busiest track on the album in terms of the amount of sounds we've got going on there. But each instrument is done to perfection. These sort of subdued technical drums.
Yeah.
First time I heard it, I was like, why have they put these in the background? But it was to make way for that guitar riff.
Oh yeah.
That it was bouncing, but it was also quite grounded as well.
Yeah.
The guitar riff is sort of like mature and sort of adolescent and spriteful at the same time, if you know what I mean. It's got a root and harmony.
It's sort of like the Grim Reaper's come in the room, but he's a child and he's holding a Rubik's Cube. He's going, I am solid stone, but I'm also sort of
solid snake.
But yeah. My quote and possibly my finished opinion, I don't know if you'll like this or not, you might not like it.
Go on.
It's like having a shower after a long day at work. It's like all your hardships being washed off you.
The middle of this track, that is the sound of the artwork.
Yeah.
I could see the chemicals bleeding into one another. Mm-hmm. All these different emotions, all these different tones in different pitches, different ranges, blended into one another. And it was sort of, as you say, a bit like a shower, purifying in a way.
Yeah.
Something.
And when you think about it, death is the only thing that is solid stone. And that is a pure thing, really, when you think about it. That is the only pure thing, really.
That falsetto is ghostly, but also quite sort of learned and experienced as well. It seems to be throwing off quite a few life lessons, whilst remaining loyal to the ethereal, to the spiritual, to something beyond it.
Yeah.
It was very, very odd. Very odd track, rooted in life and death simultaneously.
Ooh.
Very strange.
Loved it. Second favourite track on the album, but still, Fausty baby.
Did you want to talk about the baby on the cover?
Yeah. It looks like a woman's buttocks or arse, if you're common like me, and a baby. The orange sort of shape looks like a baby's head in the sort of fetal position, and the white blob looks like a leg hanging up. It's very death and birth. Part of me feels like it was intentional.
It is odd. I've never really seen it as a child. I saw it as a bit of abstract.
Yeah.
I've always seen it as a wonderful mistake. But now I've seen a child in it as well.
You'll never look at it the same again.
I'll never have another abortion. Abortion's bad. Don't have abortions, they are awful. They make you very lawful. Vote against Proposition 14. Get rid of that baby, please. Baby, keep it in your stomach. Keep that baby in your stomach. Feed it till it comes and says hello. 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 Keep that baby in your stomach. Keep that baby in your stomach.
This review is like perfection followed by madness.
It's a sort of lukewarm pot of piss.
Not even fresh. It's been in the mug for days because you couldn't be arsed leaving your bedroom.
It wasn't in a mug. It wasn't in a mug. It was in a pot.
Well,
you had to sneak out in the middle of the night to get your nan's flower pot to do your fucking loading.
Oh,
well, not your load.
whole new definition to pollinate, I guess.
Oh Christ, oh shitey.
Track 8.
Track 8, another amazing track. House of Cards.
So, just listened to House of Cards. I can say it's like if Paranormal Activity were a song, it's very ghostly, haunted house-like, eerie. A lot of sort of
very eerie
vocal noises in the background and like sound effects that are like fingers running along walls and things like that. Initially, this gave me the impression that this is yet again about mortality. Lyrics like fall off the table, but after giving it a bit of consideration and listening a bit closer to the lyrics, I heard "Forget about your house of cards and I'll do mine." Was that a right lyric?
Yeah.
Right. This is about watching people lose their ambitions around you while you carry on with yours.
Okay.
Their career paths are sort of fading out. They're becoming unsure. Whereas you see the target, you're following the goal, and no matter how many times you've failed, you still building your house of cards again over from scratch despite your failures. Whereas some people give up on them.
I heard this song being about adultery.
All right. Okay.
Not just adultery, but the process of detaching yourself from what you have established in your life. Okay, so throw your keys in the bowl and kiss your husband goodnight. Okay, now that's a sort of popular symbol for swingers.
Yeah.
Throwing your keys in the bowl, kiss your husband goodnight. It's like someone's trying to take advantage of people willing to have affairs, take risks, forget about who they are, what they own, who they surround themselves with, but possibly for an unexpected pleasure as well.
Yeah.
There's something sort of quite liberating in losing yourself just for a fleeting moment, and that sort of eerie vibe the song emanates.
What sort of danger?
Yeah.
The repercussions.
There's a sense of danger, but it's sort of wrapped up in a very soft, pleasing, appealing coating as well.
Okay.
I mean, it's sort of knowing that you're at risk of jeopardising what you've got for the more immediate pleasure. You know, it's like instant gratification rather than long-term deferred gratification.
Nice one. I just don't see adultery in it, even with the keys in the bowl and perhaps other lyrics. Maybe upon learning all of the lyrics of the song, it would tell a different story to me. But
so it's ironic to say, "Forget about your house of cards and I'll do mine."
It's kind of like setting an example. It's kind of like, I'm still going, so why aren't you? I think it encourages people to question themselves about their direction in life. I'd say that was.
I don't know. There was something in that hypnotic ambience for me that drawed. Oh no.
Drawed.
Yeah, drawed.
I gone done draw the picture.
There's something in that hypnotic ambience for me that lulls you into partaking in the unknown, the immediate, the sensual, the sensory. This track.
Knickers on floor, brush them under the carpet. No one will notice until the smell comes in.
Yeah, maybe this person is about mocking people for giving it away, for forgetting about their house of cards.
Possibly.
The infrastructure will collapse if you carry on. Throw your keys in the bowl. Kiss your husband good night.
That also seems to imply that it's being sung from the perspective of the lover and not the husband. Kind of bitter.
It is bitter.
Kiss your husband good night. It's like, you're not with me, are you?
It's definitely about adultery.
Yeah. Still liked my theme in it though.
And on that note,
everybody's changing and I don't feel the same.
who wants to listen to this shit? Next track, Jigsaw falling into place. I hope something fucking does soon. Right, well, that is one of my favourite tracks on the album. That is one of my favourite Radiohead tracks. Really like it. Very, very jazzy, very driven, very colourful. As Tom York sings, the beat goes round and round. It's got the same sort of structure as we've seen earlier on in the album. The repetitive nature of the drumming, of the guitars, of the bass, but always adding something different.
Yeah.
Always adding to the mix, making it more turbulent, making it more powerful by the time the revelatory end verses spring into action. It's amazing. It's just like, I think it's like about being in a nightclub. It's all blurring into one. This place is on a mission as well, it says. It's very, very strange cosmopolitan vibe the track's got going for it.
Yeah. I sort of like agree with you there. I got like a sort of communal, we're all in this together sort of feel for it. Like it's like knowing your place in the universe in a moment. That there are other consciousnesses around you, like present in that. It just felt very. I think it was like the sort of. It was in the background. It was like involving in some way.
Well, what's really weird as well, I think, is how sort of taken over you are by the track.
Yeah.
As well. Like I say, it keeps on building and building. And if you look at the lyrics, it's about him trying to get this girl's number, trying to talk to her, but she's on a little mission of her own. She's like trying to get to some karaoke booth. She's trying to get to grab the mic to dance. He's trying to cut through the music to get to her. He says, "What's the point in instruments? Words are a sawed-off shotgun." So he wants to get rid of the music, all this atmosphere that's sort of drowning out human connections, and just speak to her.
It's quite ironic, really, considering
it's very ironic.
The density of the song, really. It sets the scene, doesn't it, that he's of his frustration.
Especially when he's shouting that "come on and let it out" sort of stuff. Is that to her, to try and get some feedback to him? Is that to himself?
Because he can't seem to vocalise above all the
he can't sort of
noise around him.
Exactly, yeah. Not that there was noise in the track per se. It was all obviously very pleasant, superficially anyway. But at its heart, there's something quite disturbing about how lost his points seem to be. About how his efforts to connect are always being drowned out or suffocated by the environment.
Very like sort of pursuit of happiness, like the contrasting track to "All I Need," I'd say. It's sort of about a more innocent pursuit of a love interest rather than a creeping pursuit. It's very sincere, honest, and vulnerable.
I did think of "All I Need" in this track. It was a sort of strange cousin of it, the flip side, if you will. But you know, in all that confusion, who's to say it's not just the same old person?
Could be. Learnt from his mistakes and now he's going the good way about it, not stalking.
And she's, you know, doing the right thing by not trying to talk to this fucker. Stay isolated. That is my advice, my dear
Get
lady.
away from me. I want to sing Just Dance by Lady Gaga. Go home and throw up in my toilet.
It's driving him mad that you can't fucking get through to somebody.
It's like, I've been pursuing you for a fucking while.
Basically, before she's comatose, that's what it says.
Oh.
He has to try and catch her before she becomes completely lost in the mix. Quite selfish. I mean, you know, she's only trying to have a nice time, isn't she?
Yeah. She's absolutely bladdered, under threat of being kicked out of said club, and he wants to take advantage of that before she gets kicked out.
But what is the archetypal jigsaw falling into place?
Self-realization in some way, like it is like part 2 to All I Need. I feel like those two tracks just follow each other directly.
It's a very perky track.
Yeah.
It's ironic, it's postmodern, it's strange, it's conflicted, and it's enjoyable for those exact reasons. Right, let's talk about Japanese businessmen in, you know, like suits of armour.
Okay.
Just for a second.
Alright.
What are your thoughts on that?
Good going.
Yeah, easy going.
More money than sense.
Yeah.
Definitely laser swords are involved, or some kind of like ridiculous.
What's your favourite Japanese dialect?
Dialect? What do you mean by dialect?
Like Mandarin.
Mandarin's fucking Chinese.
Mandarin's Chinese?
Yeah.
What's orangutan then?
That's don't forget to wash your knees. I don't know. It's what do you think of Japanese businessmen fighting each other in armour?
No, they weren't fighting each
I
other.
think they'd fucking hire their assistants to fight each other in armour. They wouldn't get a scratch on themselves.
Next track, final track, Videotape.
I just listened to Videotape, and
What did you think of it?
it was good. I liked it. It was probably the worst track on the album for me. It was good. It was a nice song. Fuck off. Right. It was a bit too miserable, gut wrenching. I didn't expect the drums to come in. They sort of galloped a bit like a horse, or like it sounded like the train sort of wheels catching on the track as it's going, like.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a nice song about dying.
Is it about dying?
It's about dying.
It sounded like travelling or
When
a journey.
I'm at the pearly gates, that'll be me on my videotape.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's strange that we mentioned that Mephistopheles before, because he's mentioned in this track as well.
Oh, right.
When Mephistopheles is just beneath, and he's reaching up to grab me.
So it's like the whole absinthe for FAUST story.
How did you get absinthe mixed up with
Because there's
Faust?
a Cradle of Filth song called Absinthe with Faust, and that's how I remember the story.
Right, okay, that's great.
Fuck. So that's sort of like a
I find that strange.
sister track to that as well. There's like tracks that pair together quite well.
Yeah, I find
within the
it quite
album.
strange. I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's such a lovely, soft, descending piano lead, really angelic. But those drums really haunt the mix, and there's this strange clicking, almost like it's coming to the end of a tape, in a way.
Yeah, like
You
it's
know.
been caught.
So, and again with Radiohead, you've got that whole technology interrupting life in some way. Maybe it's like.
Even when you look at the album cover, it's text that is digital over nature. Well, that's what I see.
Possibly.
So it is interrupting.
What was I saying?
Speaking of interrupting.
Yeah, to do with like technology sort of interfering with life. I mean, it could be like Big Brother. This fella's life is literally on tape. He's been surveyed but he's also talking about being on tape to his family.
Yeah, it could be a videotape in a funeral.
Because he's not there face to face to talk to them.
Audrey Roberts, eat your heart out.
Absolutely. Those drums, I thought they were very clever. The way they
very, very different.
Yeah, just kept layering, and in a way that was like a tape as well. It was sort of like a tape rewinding. It keeps it's like chewing itself up. It's starting to loop and repeat itself, and in a way it's sort of like like the life flashing back.
Yeah.
Towards the end, you would almost get caught up in a feedback loop as well, because the end of your life would be within the tape, so that would keep replaying itself, possibly getting confused as well. And I think for an album this emotionally complex and vast, a nice song about dying towards the end, mixed in with the technological elements, was a very clever, very inspired choice, and it manages to wrap up some of the themes quite well. The sort of religious touches, the graces with technology, the feeling of being lost on your own, recorded, monitored, not knowing how to present yourself, and also trying to come to terms with just being meat for the worms.
I suppose it still was my least favourite track though.
Your least favourite track?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was beautiful.
The album itself as a collective was wonderful. I think our favourites do differ between us.
I see it as a very holistic listen. I think every track is connected to each other.
Yeah.
It's all part of the same overall portrait.
It's like a pick and mix though. It's like, are you going to get your favourite? Are you going to get like one? Oh, you'll eat it, but it's not
true.
One you'll choose out kind of thing.
But even when you're chewing on your sort of lesser moments,
there's still great moments.
There will still be something in there to link it up to the next track in some way, in some sonic, meaningful way.
Yeah.
In Rainbows, I'm glad I chose this as the first one because you seem to have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to it again. I feel like I've travelled through colour and emotion.
Colour and emotion.
Yeah, it's been great.
And let's talk about that album cover one last time. That is one of the best album covers I've ever seen.
It's beautiful. Complementary colours dotted all over it. Supernova in the middle / baby. Woman's sexy curvy hip. I mean, space. Who can dislike space?
No one.
Alongside the contrast between seemingly natural imagery being interrupted by technology, which is the text above, with all its underscores and kerning and designy shite.
So that was it from the first podcast from The Virgin and the Whore. What did you think of it? Should we do another one? We'll probably do one even if you didn't like it. But
we don't give a shit. You'll listen to us anyway. Hey.
But the point of this was to assume the roles of a virgin and a whore.
In a musical sense.
In a musical sense. So you have now had your Radiohead cherry truly popped.
Yeah.
Consider yourself honoured.
I feel like that supernova on the screen, to be honest.
Yeah, you feel sort of like, why